Hello, hello. I am Sarai Spear, and today I'm going to be guiding you through a practice to take those shitty fucking limiting self-beliefs that we all have and start to pull the thread on them and start to deconstruct them. So I'm going to walk you through an exercise. This will take about, 20, 30 minutes. So grab a piece of paper or a journal, grab a pen, because we are about to get really fucking deep. We're going to take these self-limiting beliefs, we're going to start to deconstruct them, and we're going to start to reframe them. So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and let's dive in. So I always like to start things, instead of going right into our shitty limiting self-beliefs, how about we start with some good stuff? How about we start with you writing what you need in your life to feel happy, satisfied, and fulfilled. So brain dumping, everything that comes to mind, everything. It could be you need your dogs. It could be you need $1 million a year. Whatever the fuck it is, I want you to take a few minutes to write this down. I want you to press pause on this video because we are going to come back. So take a few minutes, write this down, press pause. All right, so I want you to take this list that you have now, and I want you to either circle or number the top 5 things that resonate with you, the things that you're like, fuck yeah, like I can't live without money. I can't live without self-love. Whatever the 5 things are on your list that are really resonating with you today, circle them, number them. I'm going to give you just a minute to do that. All right, and when you have your 5 things, I want you to take another piece of paper and I want you to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want you to leave some space for you to write. So listing out your top 5, leaving some space for you to write. And now this stuff gets fun. Not that that wasn't fun, but this is where it gets really good. So now what I want you to do with these 5 things that you have written, I want you to ask yourself, why is this important to me? So I'll give you an example. For me, money means security. It helps me pay the bills. It gives me my time back. It gives me the freedom to travel. And why it's important to me, because I've been worried about money my whole life. I grew up without money. I was actually homeless at one point in my life. And so for me, it's important that I feel secure with money to provide me that sense of security. So for each of these 5 things that you have written down, take a couple minutes and just brain dump. Why is this important to me? Why do I need this to feel happy, to feel satisfied, and to feel fulfilled? So you're going to hit pause. And when we come back, we're going to move on. Pause. Isn't it such a fun process? I love doing that. And it just kind of gives you a little insider view. It gets you reconnected with yourself. And don't just throw away this list. Keep this list with you. Look at this list, especially when you're in a space where you're frustrated or you're anxious or you're stressed or you're angry or you're sad or you're depressed. And you can pull this out and be like, yeah, that these things are important to me and they do make me feel happy. And so I need these things in my life. So this is just a good reminder to keep, to look at. And this is a great process to do, whether you want to do it every day, do a quick little, brain dump, whether you want to do it every week, every month, whatever it might be. This is a really great exercise to just get it back in touch with yourself, because it's so easy to get lost in the world out there. We're all busy doing a million things. And so this is just a really great way to reconnect with yourself. So our next part of our exercise are self-limiting beliefs. These are those things that hold us back, whether it is perfectionism, whether it is fear of failure, fear of success, the negative self-talk, perfectionism, whatever it might be. your limiting beliefs, and we all have them. We're humans. Okay. And a lot of our limiting beliefs start in childhood, and we might not even be aware of it. And I wasn't until I started digging into this. So I'll give you an example. One of my limiting beliefs, the biggest limiting belief in my life has been, I'm not good enough. I'm not enough as a person. I'm not enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not enough. And no one has ever in my entire life said, you're not enough. But here, when I started doing this process and breaking things down, here's what I have learned. I can trace this back to childhood. And I remember my dad saying things like, I would hit 3 home runs for the game. And my dad would say, yeah, but why wasn't it 4? Like, come on, kid, why wasn't it 5? Like, what the hell? I would bring home an A-, and it would be like, well, why isn't it an A+? Why don't you have 105% instead of a 94%? And so what my brain did as a child said, you're not enough. What you're doing isn't good enough. And it locked that away. And then it allowed my brain to look for confirmation bias for everything I did. And so already feeling like, oh, fuck, I'm not enough. I can't make my dad happy. I can't make people around me happy. Like I remember an incident when I was in school and I was really proud of these shoes. We were very poor. And my mom bought me these Adidas from Payless. They had 4 stripes, not 3. And I remember wearing them to school and I was so fucking proud. And a girl at recess was like, oh my God, your shoes, those are fake Adidas. And I went from being so proud and excited to once again feeling like I'm not enough. And so my brain throughout my life has searched for these confirmation biases. And it's probably taken situations and spun them to fit that bias and that rhetoric. So this whole activity is about taking those self-limiting beliefs, those biases, and like untwisting them and seeing the full picture, reprogramming our brain. So what I want you to do is get another piece of paper, and I'm going to ask you to take 3 to 5 minutes here. Okay. And you'll pause the video here when I tell you pause. I want you to write down all your fucking self-limiting beliefs, all the things that are holding you back in your personal life, in your professional life, all of them. I want you to write all of these down. I know I'm asking you to do some work here. And this can feel weird. This can feel vulnerable. No one's going to read this. And if you feel like maybe somebody might find this, go ahead and burn it when you're done. Throw it in a shredder if you don't feel comfortable. So have verbal diarrhea on your paper now to come up with as many of these shitty self-limiting beliefs that you can come up with. Because here in a second, when you're done with this, we're going to start to pull the thread of this sweater and we're going to start to unravel these. So go ahead and press pause, give yourself 3 to 5 minutes and come back when you're done. Okay, so we've got our list. And if you are like me, my list was very big. Okay, anyway, so now we're going to take that list and I want you to rate your beliefs from 1 to 10. 1 being the least, like, oh, I really need to work on that. And 10 being like, oh my God, oh my God, this is like paralyzing my whole life. Holy fuck, this is something that I really need to tap into. So go ahead and take just a minute to rate from 1 to 10 all of these self-limiting beliefs, these blocks that you've just written. So go ahead and press pause and come back when you're ready. All right, welcome back. So now we're going to take this list that we've created, and I want you to pick your top 3. The top 3 limiting beliefs, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a 10 or a 1. This is for you to come back to and gradually work on these. So I'm going to give you the groundwork, the framework to do this, and you get to come back to this list and start working through these. So for today, I want to take the top 3 limiting beliefs that you have. And this is what we'll focus on today for the rest of the session. So these could be the ones that are constantly getting in your way. These could be the ones that you're ready to face. You might not be ready to face a number 10, and that's fucking okay. When I did this exercise, I picked twos and threes on the first one because I was like, I am not ready to fucking tackle my lack of self-love yet. How about we work on my belief that I can't coach or I can't teach? Yeah, that seems more doable. So I want you to pick 3 things that you are willing to work on today that seem doable or that are maybe like the ones that are constantly tripping you up. So pick those 3, 1, 2, 3, circle them, number them, whatever you want to do. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take on another piece of paper. Okay. So when you have these top 3, we are going to start to break these down. So list them out. 1, 2, 3, leaving room on your paper to write. So what I really want you to do is I want you to think about where this belief came from. So like the story I shared with you, my childhood. Now, do I think my dad had intentions of fucking me up? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I don't want there to be any blame or shame wrapped around this. What I want you to do is begin to get to the root of it. Because if we know where the root system is, we can start to bring that root system up. We can start to get rid of that. Okay. So I want you to think about for those top 3 beliefs, write about why each one of these is a limiting belief for you. And if you had to guess, maybe you don't know, and that's okay. But maybe if you had to guess, if you could imagine where it came from, where would that be? So take a few moments here, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever feels good for you, and press pause and come back. You're doing the fucking work. Can we just acknowledge this work that you're doing? Because this isn't easy and not everybody fucking does this. This is hard shit, friends. This is fucking hard shit. So we're going to go a little bit deeper now. We're going to go a little bit deeper. So those 3 beliefs that you have written, we're going to start to challenge them. Okay. We're going to start to reframe them. We're going to start to reconstruct our belief system. We're going to start to destroy these fucking shitty ass self-limiting beliefs. Okay. So we're going to start breaking them into smaller actionable steps or affirmations. So for each of your beliefs, I want you to identify evidence that is contrary to that belief. For example, my belief that I am not good enough, that I'm not enough is bullshit because I have been invited to teach across the globe. I have been invited to speak at events. I have been published in magazines. I have created an incredible online community with over 600 members who pay me. So starting to find that evidence that is contrary to that bullshit limiting self-belief. Okay. So that's the first step. The second step is we're going to begin to reframe that limiting belief. I know, you've had it for so long. It's nice and cozy, but you're ready to fucking give it up. So we're going to start to reframe it. And then we're going to create actionable steps. So for example, a limiting belief could be, I am not good enough to get a promotion or to get ahead at my job or to advance in my career. So that's your limiting belief. Finding contrary evidence could be positive feedback from colleagues, from clients. It could be things that you've accomplished in your career. So finding that concrete evidence when your brain wants to tell you, no, you're not good enough, finding that actual evidence that you've lived in your life. Okay. And then I want you to reframe that belief. So the belief is, I'm not good enough to get a promotion. Your new belief may sound like, I have the skills and the experience to succeed in a higher role in my career. Now, I want you to write these because it doesn't mean shit if I fucking tell you, right? It's your brain and it means more when you create it. It's more believable. I'm not a big, like, toxic positivity affirmation person, they actually turn me off. And so I've created a lot of my own affirmations that resonate in here. Like taking this, I'm not good enough to get a promotion, into I'm fucking unstoppable and can do anything I fucking put my mind to, doesn't really resonate with me. It doesn't seem like real for me. So in the next couple minutes, we're going to hit pause here in just a second. The next couple minutes, I want you to identify evidence that contradicts the belief. I want you to reframe it into a positive. Okay. So go ahead and hit pause, give yourself 2 to 5 minutes. And when you're ready, come back. Ooh, I know. I know. This is tough shit, but you're fucking doing it. Okay. So now that we have that, we have it reframed, we kind of know where it came from. We've created some contradictory evidence. We've reframed it. Now we're going to go one step further, because this to me is where the magic happens. And I want you to know that this process, the more you do it, the more your brain will start to believe it. Okay. So we're going to create actionable steps to help reinforce your new positive belief. For example, I'm not good enough to get ahead of my career. I'm not good enough to get a promotion. Your reframe is, I have the skills and experience to succeed at a higher role in my career, a higher level in my career. Now, your actionable steps are going to be, maybe you list accomplishments and your strengths. Maybe you seek out mentorship. You hire a coach. You join a community. You join a program. Maybe you apply for a new job or a new position, or you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So creating actionable steps, because when we create those actionable steps, that's where the work really begins. So we've identified, we know where they came from. We have dug deep into why they're there, when they got there, and now we're starting to deconstruct. We've reframed, we've given evidence to the contrary, and now I want you to create actionable steps. And I know this can be difficult because we live in our own brain. So if you find yourself in a space where you're like, bitch, I don't fucking know. If I knew how to fucking do this, I wouldn't be here with you right now, you dumb bunny. Here's what I have to do sometimes. I have to pull myself outside of myself. And I would say, if my friend came to me and said all of these things, she feels like she's not good enough to get a promotion at her job. What are some things that I could tell her that might help her get there? What are some actionable steps that I could tell her? So maybe you need to take yourself outside of yourself if you're like me and you're really struggling with this. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to start creating some actionable steps. And I'm not talking, I don't want you going from 0 to 100. Okay. I don't want you trying to fucking take a rocket ship from Earth to Mars if you've never been in an airplane before. Okay. Smaller steps, smaller actionable steps. Because when you do those, you celebrate yourself and you go, fuck yeah. And then you create more actionable steps. Then you celebrate yourself and you say, fuck yeah. You create more actionable steps. You celebrate yourself and say, fuck yeah. You get where I'm going with this. So creating these small actionable steps, because if you create ones that are too big, your brain's going to go, nope, the gap is too big. I can't do it. I can't get from Earth to Mars. I can't. And you're not going to try. Okay. So do yourself a favor, spend a couple minutes here, really thinking about what are some actionable steps that you can do to overcome this, to move towards where you want to be. So hit pause, give yourself 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is. And when you're ready, come back. You did it. You did it. This is it. This is the process. This is the work. Now, the more you are able to identify and challenge and reframe and create actionable steps, and the more often you do this, guess what? The quicker those limiting self-beliefs become not limiting self-beliefs. You've replaced them with your new beliefs. So I need you to know this is a process, and I need you to be gentle with yourself, and I need to show you to show yourself the same kindness and compassion and grace that you would show your fucking friend or even a total stranger, because we can be total fucking dickbags to ourselves, right? I know I can. So revisit this. Do this once a week. Do this once a day, every other day, once a month. Come back to this. Don't let this just be a one-time exercise, because if you really want to move past this self-limiting space, the procrastination, the fear, the anxiety, the fucking perfectionism, whatever it might be, the negative self-talk, if you really want to move past this, this is a great way for you to do it, because it's you. This is your brain telling you all the things. And it's using these tools to, again, take that thread from that sweater and start to pull it apart. And then you can pull a little faster, and then you can grab another thread and you can start to pull. So you're deconstructing your limiting beliefs and replacing them with a foundation that you get to live this next chapter, this next couple chapters of your life with. So it is really powerful work. This is really powerful work, and it is not easy. And I want you to be kind to yourself on this journey. Be compassionate. Give yourself some fucking love. Celebrate your fucking self along the way. The big things, the small things, all the things. And what happens in our brain is it's called a habit. Okay. So I'll just talk on this briefly and then I'll let you go. So the habit loop, your brain senses something. It's bored, it's anxious, it's stressed, it's angry. So then it sends a cue to the receptor that it wants relief. So it says, I'm looking for ways out of this anger, out of this boredom. And then it sends a signal to your brain that says, okay, do something. So if you're bored, your brain says, I'm bored, I want out of this. So what do? We pick up our phone and we doom scroll. That's a bad habit. So this new habit is going to be, we're bored. We get that cue. So instead, we do a meditation, we do affirmations, we go for a walk, we write a business plan. It's creating habits. And then what happens is when your brain gets that, it goes to the reward center, whether it's a good or bad, and it says, yes, we got relief from boredom. Fuck yeah, let's do that again. And that's why habits are so hard to break, because we've created a reward system. And so what I want you to do is start creating a new reward system for your brain, that when you do something small, when you get up and you meditate 5 minutes in the morning, I want you to celebrate yourself. I want you to be proud of yourself. I want you to feel it in your body. I want you to envision it. I want you to be fucking proud, because you are creating a new neural pathway. You're creating a new habit. So all of this is laying the foundation for you to start transforming your life, to start transforming the beliefs that you've held on to for so long about yourself that no longer fucking serve you. So what we're doing is we're grabbing those threads and we're unraveling, and we're taking this sweater apart, and then we get to take those threads and we get to redo a brand new sweater that feels good for us and that fits. So thank you so much for joining me in this. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, let me know. Send me a DM, post about it on Instagram, send me an email, sarai@platinumgiraffe.com. I would love to hear how this worked for you. And please know that you can come back and you can revisit this. You can do this as much as you want. I'm really fucking proud of you for doing the work. Thank you so much for joining me today.